For years, I kept a secret that only a handful of top neurological surgeons were allowed to see, and today I am breaking that silence because too many seniors are paying the price. Behind hospital walls, behind closed research meetings, and behind a trillion-dollar balance in supplement industry, there exists a quiet discovery that almost never reaches the public. This market profits from fear, selling devices, braces, pills, and glossy programs while exporting billions across the world, even paying influencers to promote stability solutions that never fix the real problem. Yet in a locked lab, I once watched something unbelievable. Seniors over 80 who could barely stand were transformed using just 4 movements that cost nothing, and no company wanted that footage released. You probably clicked this video because something felt off recently. Maybe your body wobbled in the shower, or your balance slipped while tying your shoes, and that sensation is not random. It is a silent alarm. Most people believe balance simply fades with age, but that is the story they want you to believe. In reality, balance collapses in hidden muscles that almost nobody trains, and that collapse happens quietly before a fall ever occurs. Entire industries exist to distract you from this truth, keeping you dependent while your stability slowly erodes. What makes this even more chilling is that researchers in Japan and Europe prove that seniors who failed the 10-second test could recover control using only 4 simple exercises, movements so basic that no company could patent them. By the end of this video, you will see why these 4 exercises could threaten an entire industry, and when we reach exercise number 1, you will understand why scientists described it as a hidden reset switch that can suddenly reconnect your brain to your legs. If you want to explore the studies that shaped these findings, I've placed them for you in the description below. Before we move forward, here's a quick question. How old are you, and have you ever tried a simple balance test at home? I truly pay attention to what you share. I read and respond to every comment with care. Now, let's begin with number 4, an exercise so simple that most people dismiss it, yet it quietly trains a part of your body you probably never even knew was responsible for keeping you upright. Number 4, the chair stand power move. This might shock you, but the simple act of standing up from a chair without using your hands is one of the most powerful predictors of longevity in people over 80, according to research from the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. The chair stand power move isn't just about leg strength. It's about something called functional muscle power, which is your body's ability to generate force quickly when you need it most. Think about it. Every time you get up from a chair, get out of bed, or rise from the toilet, you're performing this exact movement. And if you can't do it smoothly and confidently, your entire world starts shrinking. Here's the proper technique that maximizes both safety and effectiveness. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. And here's the game changer. Scoot forward until you're sitting on just the front third of the seat. This position preloads your muscles and makes the movement more efficient. Cross your arms over your chest, which prevents cheating by pushing off the armrests and forces your legs to do all the work. Now, lean slightly forward from your hips, not your back, until your nose is over your toes. Then push through your heels to stand up in one smooth motion. The tendency is to rock back and forth to build momentum, but that's actually robbing you of the strength-building benefits. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine found that people who performed this exercise with proper form for just 3 sets of 10 repetitions, 3 times per week, increased their leg power by 35% in 2 months. But here's what makes this exercise particularly special for people over 80. It trains your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that disappear the quickest with age but are most crucial for preventing falls. These are the muscle fibers that kick in when you trip over a rug or slip on a wet floor, giving you that split-second burst of power to catch yourself. The progression is beautifully simple. Start with a higher chair if needed. Maybe add a cushion to raise the seat, then gradually work your way down to standard height and eventually to a lower surface. Some of my favorite research on this comes from Japanese scientists who studied centenarians and found that those who could perform 30 chair stands in a row were functionally 20 years younger than their chronological age in terms of daily living abilities. The optimal training schedule is every other day, giving your muscles time to rebuild stronger between sessions, and always do this exercise before meals when your energy is highest but your stomach isn't full. What's fascinating is that this single exercise improves not just your ability to stand, but also your walking speed, stair climbing power, and overall mobility because it targets the exact muscle groups that power all upward movement in your daily life. Studies show that mastering this one move reduces your risk of needing assisted living by 40% because it maintains the functional independence that determines whether you can live on your own or need help with basic activities. Now, what if I told you the next exercise could literally help you walk backwards through time? Before we keep going, make sure to hit like and subscribe. What's coming up next is too important to miss. Number 3, the backwards walking reset. Walking backwards might seem like something you'd only do as a party trick, but neuroscientists at the University of Nevada have discovered it's actually one of the most powerful ways to reset your nervous system and dramatically improve balance after 80. When you walk backwards, something remarkable happens in your brain. It has to create entirely new movement patterns because it can't rely on the automatic programs it's been using for forward walking your entire life. This forces what researchers call neuroplastic adaptation, essentially forcing your brain to build new highways for balance and coordination. The research is mind-blowing. A study of 89-year-olds found that just 5 minutes of backwards walking, 3 times per week, improved their forward walking speed by 27% and reduced their fall risk by nearly half. Here's how to do it safely and effectively. Start in a hallway where you can place one hand lightly on the wall for guidance, not support. There's a big difference. Begin by simply shifting your weight backwards, feeling how your toes and the balls of your feet engage differently than in forward walking. Take small steps, maybe just 3 inches at first, reaching back with your toe first, then rolling through to your heel, exactly opposite of forward walking. Your brain will feel confused at first, like you're trying to write with your non-dominant hand. But that confusion is exactly what we want because it means new neural pathways are forming. The key insight from research at the Cleveland Clinic is that backwards walking activates muscle groups that forward walking completely ignores, particularly the vastus medialis, that teardrop-shaped muscle on the inside of your knee that's crucial for knee stability. After practicing for just 1 week, you'll notice something amazing. Your forward walking feels more stable and confident because you've essentially recalibrated your entire balance system. The ideal progression starts with 10 steps backward 3 times in a row, with 30-second rests between each set. After 2 weeks, try it without the wall, maybe in an open room with furniture strategically placed for emergency support. The fascinating part is that backwards walking burns 40% more calories than forward walking at the same speed, because your body can't use momentum to cheat. Every step requires deliberate muscle activation. Many people report that their knee pain decreases significantly because backwards walking strengthens muscles that support the knee while putting less stress on the joint itself. The best time to practice is mid-morning when your alertness is high, but before afternoon fatigue sets in, and always on a non-carpeted surface where you can feel the ground clearly through your shoes, or even better, in just stocks to maximize sensory feedback. Research participants often describe a sensation of their brain waking up after backwards walking, reporting improved mental clarity and focus that lasts for hours afterward, which makes sense because you're literally forcing your brain to work in ways it hasn't had to in decades. The beauty of this exercise is its simplicity. No equipment needed, no special clothing required, just you and a safe space to explore movement in reverse. Yet the benefits rival those of complex rehabilitation programs costing thousands of dollars. But here's where things get really interesting. What if the secret to perfect balance was hiding in a movement you did naturally as a child? Number 2, the heel-to-toe tightrope walk. Remember walking along a curb or a line on the playground as a kid, placing one foot directly in front of the other like you were on a tightrope? That childhood game is actually one of the most sophisticated balance training exercises known to medical science, and research from Harvard Medical School shows it's particularly powerful for people over 80. The heel-to-toe tightrope walk, technically called tandem walking in medical literature, challenges every single component of your balance system simultaneously: your inner ear, your vision, your proprioception, and your core stability all have to work in perfect harmony. A landmark study published in the Journal of Gerontology followed adults over 85 who performed this exercise daily and found something extraordinary. Their balance age, measured by computerized posturography, reversed by an average of 12 years in just 3 months. Here's the precise technique that maximizes results while ensuring safety. Find a straight line on your floor, maybe where two floorboards meet, or place a strip of painter's tape, and position yourself at one end with your arms relaxed at your sides, not out for balance initially. Place your right foot directly in front of your left foot so the heel of your right foot touches the toes of your left foot, creating a straight line with your feet. Now here's the critical part most people get wrong. Don't look down at your feet. Instead, fix your gaze on a point straight ahead at eye level, because looking down actually disrupts your vestibular system and makes balance harder, not easier. Take a slow step forward, placing your left heel directly against your right toes, and the sensation will be strange at first, like your body forgot how to coordinate this previously simple movement. The secret is to engage your core muscles, pulling your belly button gently toward your spine, which creates what physical therapists call central stability, allowing your limbs to move more freely and precisely. Research from the Mayo Clinic discovered that people who could perform 20 heel-to-toe steps without losing balance had the same fall risk as someone 15 years younger. And here's the incredible part. This improvement happened regardless of their starting fitness level. Start with just 5 steps, using a wall or counter alongside for security, not support unless absolutely necessary, and gradually build up to 20 steps forward, then 20 steps backward, which is exponentially harder but proportionally more beneficial. The neurological benefits extend far beyond balance. This exercise actually improves cognitive function because it requires such intense focus and coordination that it's like CrossFit for your brain. Studies using brain imaging show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex during tandem walking, the same area responsible for executive function and decision-making, suggesting this exercise might help maintain mental sharpness alongside physical balance. The optimal practice schedule is twice daily, once in the morning to set your balance baseline for the day, and once in the evening to reinforce the neural patterns before sleep when your brain consolidates motor learning. After mastering the basic walk, you can advance by closing your eyes for portions of it, which removes visual input and forces your other balance systems to compensate, or by turning your head side to side while walking, which challenges your vestibular system even more. What makes this exercise particularly valuable for people over 80 is that it directly translates to real-world situations. The narrow base of support you practice here is exactly what you encounter when navigating tight spaces, stepping around furniture, or walking on uneven surfaces where your feet can't spread wide for stability. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the single exercise that outperformed everything else in clinical trials and can literally save your life after 80. Number 1. The single leg clock reach. This is it, the exercise that a groundbreaking study from the University of Sydney called a game changer for balance in people over 85, the one that increased balance scores by 31% in just 8 weeks, when participants thought improvement was impossible at their age. The single leg clock reach is deceptively simple, but engages more neural pathways simultaneously than any other balance exercise studied, which is why researchers at the National Institute on Aging now recommend it as the gold standard for fall prevention in the oldest adults. Imagine standing on one leg while reaching your other foot to different positions around an imaginary clock on the floor. That's the basic concept, but the execution and the science behind it will blow your mind. When you perform this exercise, you're not just balancing. You're forcing your brain to process spatial awareness, dynamic movement, weight shifting, and multidirectional stability all at once, creating what neuroscientists call a perfect storm of neuroplasticity. Here's exactly how to perform it for maximum benefit. Stand near a sturdy chair or counter that you can grab if needed, but try to just hover your hand above it for psychological security rather than physical support. Lift your right foot just a few inches off the ground and imagine you're standing in the center of a large clock face painted on the floor. Now, slowly reach that lifted foot forward to where 12 o'clock would be. Tap your toe lightly on the ground, then bring it back to center without putting it down. Next, reach to 1 o'clock, tap, and return to center, then 2 o'clock, and continue around the clock as far as you can comfortably reach. The magic happens because each reach challenges your balance in a completely different way. Reaching forward tests anterior stability, reaching sideways challenges lateral control, and reaching backward engages posterior chain muscles that are usually completely dormant in people over 80. Research from the Cleveland Clinic found that this exercise activates 147% more muscle fibers than standard balance exercises because your body has to constantly adjust and readjust to maintain stability while moving through different planes of motion. The progression is beautifully adaptable. Start by reaching to just 3 positions, 12, 3, and 6 o'clock, holding the furniture for support, then gradually add more clock positions and reduce your reliance on support. After 2 weeks, try tapping each position without actually touching the ground, which requires even more control and builds tremendous strength in your standing leg. The study participants who achieved that remarkable 31% improvement performed this exercise for just 5 minutes per leg, 3 times per week. But here's the crucial detail. They focused on quality over quantity, taking 5 full seconds for each reach to maximize muscle engagement and neural adaptation. What makes this exercise particularly powerful for people over 80 is that it mimics real-life movements like reaching for something on a shelf, stepping over obstacles, or recovering from a stumble. So you're not just exercising, you're rehearsing the exact motor patterns that will keep you safe in daily life. Advanced practitioners can perform this with their eyes closed for portions, or on a slightly soft surface like a yoga mat to add an extra stability challenge. But even the basic version is incredibly powerful. The optimal timing is mid-afternoon when your body temperature is highest and your joints are most flexible. And always perform it before activities where you need good balance, like grocery shopping or walking outdoors, because it primes your balance system for peak performance. Many participants in the Sydney study reported that after 8 weeks, they could do things they hadn't done in years, like standing on one foot to put on socks, walking confidently on uneven surfaces, and even dancing at family gatherings without fear of falling. The researchers noted something else remarkable. Participants who mastered the clock reach showed improvements in activities that seemed completely unrelated, like getting in and out of cars more easily, reaching for high shelves without losing balance, and even sleeping better because their improved proprioception made them feel more secure and less anxious about nighttime bathroom trips. The evidence is crystal clear. Age is not a barrier to improving your balance, even after 80, and these 4 exercises are your blueprint for defying what everyone thinks is inevitable decline. The combined research from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, University of Sydney, and dozens of other institutions proves that your body retains its ability to adapt and strengthen throughout your entire life. You just need to give it the right stimulus. Start with the chair stand power move for functional strength. Add the backwards walking reset for neural rewiring, progress to the heel-to-toe tightrope walk for integrated balance, and master the single-leg clock reach for total transformation. Remember, every balance champion over 80 started exactly where you are right now, uncertain but hopeful, and they all share one common trait. They stayed consistent, and they refused to accept that falling and frailty were their destiny. Your journey to rock-solid balance begins with that first small step, that first careful stand from a chair, that first tentative backward step, and before you know it, you'll be that person who passes the 10-second test with flying colors, amazing your doctor and inspiring everyone around you. The research is unanimous. It's never too late to improve your balance, and these 4 exercises have helped thousands of people over 80 reclaim their independence, confidence, and joy in movement. If this information could help someone you care about stay independent and strong after 80, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with them. Thanks for watching.